All right, good morning, traders. Today is March 12th, 2025. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody in podcast land, cyber land, digital land. You know who you are. Thank you so much for finding the value in my content. Appreciate that. Love the thumbs up. Love the kind comments. Appreciate all of that. Thank you for subscribing. I really appreciate that. All right, all of the Fab Five are in daily downtrends. Okay, I'll accept FNGA made lower highs and lower lows, closing under their bearish traps under their 17 EMAs. SPY closed with a 2-hour downtrend and a 10-minute downtrend. FNGA, a little bit different, looking like some interest in the big caps here. Made a higher low and a higher high, but closed under a bearish trap under the 17 EMA. Gold and silver, both in daily uptrends, both made higher lows and higher highs, closing over bullish traps over their 17 EMAs. USO, looking horrible, in a daily downtrend, made an inside day, closing inside a bearish trap under the 17 EMA. UNG, big high flyer there, made a lower low and a lower high, closing inside a bullish trap over the 17. US dollar index in a downtrend. We love that. Closed near the 103.41 area. SPY max pain for all the options that expired today is 560, with a put to call ratio of 0.85 puts for each call that expires today at 415. All right, let's go take a look at some charts. Start off on a clean one here. All right. We got ourselves a little uptrend going on, and we had a nice peak yesterday, kind of clearing this high on the 10-minute chart. All right. So any pullback back to this anchored VWAP low from yesterday's low, as long as I can see the bulls step in here coming off of this pink anchored VWAP line. If I see the bulls, like I get a 5-minute uptrend, 3-minute uptrend. Good morning, Brad. Hey, if I get something like a little uptrend going on right there, see bulls stepping in, I'm going to be interested in playing that for, guess what, a higher high. All right, so there's SPY on the 10-minute. If we look at it on the 10-minute, we had a 10-minute downtrend coming into the close. 10-minute downtrend coming in. The shaded section, that's the close from yesterday. All right, so 10-minute downtrend coming into the close yesterday. On the 2-hour chart, all right, into the close, not the shaded section, you can see the yellow 3 EMA here. That's the faster one, all right, well underneath the 8 EMA and the falling 17, okay? So price action for SPY, 2-hour, still got a downtrend on the 2-hour chart. On the daily chart, still in a downtrend, but guess what? We put in this spinning top candle, so we'll see where we go from here. Maybe a test of the 8 EMA, which resides at 570. I don't know if we get all the way back there, but that would be nice to have a nice rally off of 560 up to 570. And it's possible because look here on the 10-day ATR. All right, that's 1291. We're at 560. We could make it. We'll see what happens. All right. Like to see a nice attempt to get this thing going in the other direction. Just a heads up, we're almost near 550. That's the big fat whole round number. All right. We'll see if we can get a turnaround. They still have not hit it yet. Maybe they want to hit it. Maybe they don't. We'll find out soon, all right? I am picking up on some evidence of accumulation kind of happening just by the FNGA not making a lower low and a lower high, but I did see a couple of nice rallies, multiple rallies yesterday. A little rally there, a little rally here, a little rally here. Much more than what we've seen before, all right, down here near the 550 area. All right, still could go lower. 544 is a target as well as 550. We'll see where we go. All right, this is the anchored VWAP low. This should hold If this does hold, let's look for SPY to probably make some leaps and bounds, making a higher high. Hopefully, we'll see. All right, maybe back up here to test the open gap. That's at 569. So that could be a target late in the day for today, is 569 area, to see price get up there, maybe consolidate underneath it. That would be even better, to see them hold the higher ground for once instead of giving it up each time. All right, so we got a daily chart. All right, you see that? It was in a downtrend, okay? Price action, you can see prices underneath the trap. That's the 3 and the 8. You can see here's the trap. No candle inside there, so it's under the trap, under the falling 17. And if we put the anchored VWAP on up here, under the all-time high anchored VWAP as well. Okay, now if we look at it with the quad lines on there, we're approaching the midpoint area. Okay, price moves up, gives it up, that's neutral. So this is neutral ground right here. If we get into the lower third, down there, down below 544, all right, that's going to be bearish, all right, below 544. Right now, we're just in neutral ground. So let's go take a look at SPY game plan. We'll look at that on the 10-minute chart. Let me slide this over just a little bit. Okay, so SPY game plan. I like options 2 days till expiration or 9 days till expiration. Preferably, I don't know how you measure yours on your broker platform, but on this one, it's 2 and 9, and those are the Friday options. We like Fridays because Fridays have more open interest, all right? $2 to $5 out of the money. Now, if you want the very best performing option, it's going to be the 0 DTE, all right, in the money option. That will give you the penny for penny performance that you're looking for, all right? But we don't want that much performance, because along with performance comes risk, all right? So in order to, we got small accounts, in order to pare back the risk, all right, we take out of the money. That gives us less risk on the table. And let me just say, there's been some wild swings here, all right? We're having $6 pullbacks, $12 pullbacks, all right? Crazy pullbacks, all right? So just when you think you're going to short it and buy the pullback to head back down, it keeps going up, all right? So crazy pullbacks. Be careful out there. It's wild and whippy at this time, all right? So we'll see what happens with SPY. I think they're on their way for 550. We'll see where we go, all right? Again, the pivot is 558.40. All right, my red erases green, okay, so is going to be right here below 544.30. That's my red erases green entry, all right, and my green erases red entry is price over 561.80. Okay, now be careful up there. You can see these tails right up here, little tails, wicks. See the wicks? Sellers were there before, so we'll see what happens. Maybe we get up here, consolidate. That would be a sign of grinding away at the price action or the holders of securities and such up there. Inventory up here, all right, because we see some sellers up here. So maybe if we grind away at that supply, there's a possibility we break through, maybe 565, maybe 569 at the end of the day. We'll see what happens, all right? So there's the game plan. Over 561.80, all right? That's a bullish green erases red entry. Now, if I get a 10-minute uptrend over regular VWAP, all right, where price is breaking away from VWAP, don't know if I'll get it. Look for the chop today. You could see chop, all right? If I get a 10-minute uptrend over VWAP where price is breaking away from the VWAP moving average, I will be interested in playing that to the upside all the way up to the green line and see where it goes. Now, if I get 10-minute downtrend under VWAP, that's regular VWAP, I'd be interested in playing that all the way down to the red line and lower. All right, so we'll see where that goes. All right, so just saying that even though I don't hit this one or this one, I might not get triggered in today using green erases red or red erases green, but I might get a 10-minute trend that happens either under or over VWAP. Looking for either one to happen. Okay, I'm not picky about which one it is. Just give me something to trade. All right. I'll be trading those up to the green and the red line. All right. I'll be looking for those, looking to take profits like maybe 50% off here to see if it's going to continue. Most of these trends last for about 2 hours. All right. So keep in mind, try to hold on to those positions if you can for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. Okay, see if you can get the most out of it. All right, I'll be looking for a trend day to materialize sometime today. We'll see if that can happen, and that would be a 10-minute uptrend over VWAP between the hours of 11 and noon. All right, as long as there's no exhaustion candles in there. All right, I'll be looking for a trend day to materialize sometime today. I'm looking at some bullish action. Now, on that note, all right, we do have CPI coming in today at 8:30, so that's just around the corner here. All right, so that could cause a whole lot of volatility. So all of this that we're looking at right here, okay, could be just smoke and mirrors. All right, hate to say it, that's what it could be, because CPI may come in and the market may just crush us. All right, so we'll see what happens. So there's SPY, there's the game plan. All right, you got your entries right there. You can snap a photo of that or pause the video, snap a photo if you're looking for it. So there's SPY. Let's take a look at QQQ. QQQ has a game plan as well. Again, we like Friday options, 2 days till expiration or 9 days till expiration. Same thing, $2 to $5 out of the money. All right, got a little uptrend going on here. Bullish entry, all right, over 478. That's my bullish green erases red entry. All right, QQQ pivot, 472.10. Bearish entry right underneath the tail of that red candle, breaking the bottoms of these two lows underneath 468.80. All right, that's my bearish red erases green entry. All right, let's take a look at QQQ on the daily chart. Let's pick up a clean one here. Okay, so this is, that looks like today's price action. Yes, it is. Okay, so here's yesterday, this spinning top. Same thing we got. I think everybody got a spinning top. Excuse me there. Except for FNGA. Regular VWAP is always the brown one. Mike asked a question. No problems there. See this brown one right here? That's the regular VWAP. If you want to set it up on your chart, right click. Okay, hit add to chart indicator. All right, and then you just type in up here. Okay, on my platform, it's real easy. VWAP. All right, and you can see just a regular VWAP, and I can add that. See how it just added it right there? I don't need it because I already got it, so I'm going to take it off. But you can see that's how I add it. All right, just regular VWAP. Okay, you got it. All right, so there's QQQ back there on QQQ on the daily. Another spinning top, okay? That means, you know what the spinning top means? Okay, you got equal bearish pressure, equal bullish pressure, all right? Thin little body in the middle, okay? Equal. So they're satisfied with price where it is, all right? So we could see this as being a bottom, all right? Hopefully we get a red rubber school ball bounce. We'll see. All right. That's what we like to see. And it very well could turn into a hockey stick and no bounce, and it just moves flat over to the side. Okay. So there's QQQ on the daily chart in a daily downtrend. Okay. Here's a low. Here's a low. Look how we took out all those lows. We're in a downtrend because we made lower lows. All right. So we'll see where we go from there. Now to negate this downtrend, guess what? They got to come all the way back up here because notice they didn't poke the 17 at all on this trip down. Okay, so they're going to have to come all the way back up here to negate that downtrend. All right, remember it's just a label, all right, but they're going to have to come all the way back up there to negate the downtrend. So that's a tall order for them. That's QQQ. Or guess what they got to do to negate the downtrend? Produce a lower high, all right, produce a higher low or equal low, all right, and then come back through and take out the lower high, all right. They can do that and negate the downtrend. Right now, they're in downtrend status. Now you can see price action moves up, gives it up, and more. See, we move up, give it up, and more. Let me do that. Let me do a little drawing. I love to do drawings. Okay, so let's get the white one out here. Trash that off. Okay, so price, see the low? We move up. All right, if we move up and we hold the higher ground, that's bullish. That's the best bullish environment. Okay, now if we move up and then we move down to the same spot, okay, that's neutral. All right, but if we move up, move down, and then we move down some more, that's bearish. So right now we're in the lower third, that's down here. So we're in bearish territory right now. See how bears are controlling it. See that? Bears are in charge. Bears have the ball. Bears have control. Okay, so we want to see signs of bullishness. Now, the signs of bullishness aren't going to happen on the weekly chart, okay? They're going to start off on a 2-minute, and then that's going to transcend into a 3-minute, maybe a 5-minute uptrend, then a 10-minute uptrend, then a 15-minute uptrend, then a 5-minute pullback, all right? And then a 30-minute uptrend, okay? Then a 10-minute pullback, all right? That's the way they all start before they even get to monthly uptrend. Okay, so right now we're in a daily downtrend, all right? So we'll look for something to materialize, start to turn the ship back around, maybe come back up here and test that anchored VWAP high right there, all-time high anchored VWAP. Currently sitting right over the midpoint right there. We'll see, right at 500. We'll see if we'll see what happens, all right? But right now we're in bearish territory. All right, let's take a look at a few other sectors, all right? See down here in the lower third of the quads, that's bearish. All right, let's go take a look at FNGA. A little bit different here. All right, now FNGA, all right, this is the top 10 weighted stocks inside, or securities, inside the QQQ index, that's the NASDAQ 100 index, or the S&P 500 index, okay, both of those, or SPX, whichever one you want to use. All right, so FNGA, a little bit different here, different candle going on, higher low, higher high, still closing under the trap, under the 17, but the price performance just a little bit different, okay, so a little bit different there on FNGA, seeing some interest peak up right there in FNGA. Still in a downtrend, okay, because here's the low. They took out the low, all right. Now, watch this valley between the two peaks. That's a popular retracement area, okay, so watch that. If we do get an uptrend going, maybe, maybe not, okay, we'll see. That will be a location for price action to hit. All right, so we'll keep an eye on that. All right, each one has that valley between the two peaks. If we go back and look at SPY, see SPY's got that valley that exists between the two peaks. Keep an eye on that. That'll be a popular target. Okay, along with QQQ. Yeah, QQQ got the same valley between the two peaks. Again, that'll be a popular target, all right, for a retracement pullback, all right. Now, if they get up on top of that valley, all right, and they start producing a bullish flag, all right, we could see them climb all the way to the breakdown candle. We'll see what happens, but we're not even here yet, all right. Just letting you know in case you're watching this for the first time. That will be a popular location for price to pull back to. So there's QQQ on the daily chart. Just did FNGA. Let's take a look at Diamond Dow. All right, here's Diamond Dow. One more time. Okay. Diamond Dow, lower high, lower low. All right. Closing under the trap, under the falling 17, under the all-time high anchored VWAP. Okay. So notice the valley for Diamond Dow is way down here. So they're at the valley. See now, notice the bears brought it down to the valley. I'm telling you, that's a popular target. You get a valley between two peaks, that will oftentimes be a target. And here we are right there at a target on the way down instead of on the retracement back up. All right, so there's Diamond Dow. Downtrend, okay, needless to say, all right, we're making lower lows. Here's a low, we're making lower lows. So Diamond Dow in a downtrend, just neutral. Notice price moves up and moves back, okay? They move up and then they give it up. Okay, so that's just neutral. All right, they start heading further south here, and they're going to be bearish. All right, so price closing under the trap, under the falling 17, under the all-time high anchored VWAP, under the uptrend line, just neutral right here. Okay, let's take a look at IWM, aka the Russell 2000. All right, notice price moves up, gives it up, and more. We're down here in quadrant 1. This is bearish. Okay, we're under the falling 17, we're under the trap, we're under the all-time high anchored VWAP, we're under the uptrend line, IWM, bearish down here. It's going to take a lot of mojo to get this thing turned around. All right, so there's IWM on the daily chart. Let's take a look at some technicals. T2122 yesterday spent the day in the oversold zone. All right, like to see them. We could camp out here for 2 or 3 days. All right, just because it says oversold does not mean bulls come in and charge back to the midpoint. They could camp out here for 2, 3, 4, 5 days. We'll find out. That's T2122. So we spent the day in the oversold zone. I do like that we made on the 15-minute, okay, we peaked out a little higher high, okay? We didn't break out of the zone, all right, but we did peak out a little higher high. So what I'd like to see this, that will probably, with today's price action, be a higher low, and we should see ourselves maybe up here in the sell zone, and I wouldn't be surprised to see us in the seller's chop zone, okay? We probably transcend or fly right over the sell zone and open up inside the seller's chop zone. All right, from there, we're going to look, and what we want to see is another higher low. All right, this will be a higher low, most likely. And what we want to see is another higher low. And then we want to see the bulls get inspired to make the higher high. We'll see what happens. This is the 15-minute on the T2122. T2123, okay, you can see the selling program continued at the beginning of the day. All right, till they got down to here. All right, and then after the afternoon lunch, some bulls stepped in and kind of brought us back up to VWAP area right here, T2123. Okay, thing to note: we're not making any higher highs, so this is bearish. All right, we're still trapped underneath the 200, so this is bearish. We're not filling any bullish gaps. Bearish gaps. See, we're not filling any bearish gaps. So this is still bearish. All right. So got to see some higher highs first. All right. Maybe a challenge of the 200, falling 200 there. That would be nice. Looking for the bulls to step up. Don't know if they're ready yet. Maybe they're still eating a plate of spinach. We'll find out. All right. So here's T2123. All right. Let's take a look at it on the 3-bar chart. 3 more red candle bars right here. A lot of space opening up between price action and that fading 200 SMA. We are at a prior all-time high, okay? So put the cross bars up. See that? That is a prior. These are prior all-time highs right there. 2 of them. 1, 2 right there. All right, so we're at a prior all-time high. So we'll see if we find some support. No sign of bulls yet. Of course, you can see on the 15-minute, okay, we're not making any higher highs. Okay, so maybe they're just getting started. Possibility, we'll see. We'll see, all right? Possibility they're just getting started yesterday, all right? T2123. Not going to get my hopes up. I'm going to trade the price action in front of me. All right, let's take a look at FNGA. Back to the 3-bar. Again, you can see the 3-bar underneath the fading 200. Again, like I mentioned, back there at a prior all-time high. All right, FNGA yesterday. This is a little bit different price action on FNGA. Setting higher lows, making higher highs, setting another higher low, making an equal high, setting an equal low, making a higher high. All right, looking like some interest in the big caps here down at this level. This is FNGA. Nice work on FNGA. For the most part, kept that up over VWAP for a good part of the day, as opposed to under VWAP most all the day. All right, so there's FNGA. Maybe we get VWAP turned back around and move it in the other direction. We'll see. Still underneath this falling 200 SMA, still underneath this all-time high anchored VWAP, underneath the uptrend line. So a lot of work to be done here on FNGA. It can be done, all right? We'll see what happens. That's FNGA. All right, let's go take a look at a few sectors. First sector we're going to look at is XLE. Trying to run through these fast because in 4 minutes CPI is going to come out and the market's probably going to go haywire. All right, so we'll see what happens. XLE, lower high, higher low, closing under the trap, under the 17. All right, underneath the, try it again. All right, lower high, lower low, closing under the trap, under the 17, under the midpoint, under downtrend line 1, under downtrend line 2, under the 12-month high anchored VWAP there, okay? Back in neutral land, all right? See, they were up, then they gave it up and more. That was put them in bearish territory. Now they're back in neutral land. All right, we'll see what happens. That's XLE, just neutral. Notice the price action for XLE. Lots of peaks here, okay? Notice every time they move up, they give it up. Lots and lots of peaks, okay? What you want to see is price move up and hold, all right? That would be the signal, all right, that energy is looking good, all right? So there's XLE. Let's take a look at high flyer UNG. All right. Now UNG is not holding. It's just making higher highs and higher lows. Hey, we'll take that. All right. Yesterday's price action, lower high, lower low, closing in the bullish trap over the rising 17. That's almost vertical there. Up in quadrant 4. That's very bullish. Actually, it's too hot to handle way up here. Okay. I'd like to see it cool off. Maybe pull back to this pliers top over here. All right. Maybe challenge the tweezer tops first, then pull back to the pliers tops. We'll see what happens, all right? So here's UNG, all right? Up here, high flyer. Really hot, really, really hot. Doing well, all right? We'll see how far it wants to go. That's UNG on the daily chart. Definite uptrend going on there, okay? Up over that 12-month high anchored VWAP. All right, looking good on UNGs. Take a look at USO. Now, USO's got a 3-year all-time high anchored VWAP, or a 3-year high anchored VWAP right there. There's the three-year high. USO caught underneath the uptrend line, inside day. Okay, it's a lower high, higher low, closing inside the bearish trap, under the falling 17, under the uptrend line, under the midpoint, under the 3-year high anchored VWAP, down here in the lower third. This is bearish. Okay, USO is still bearish. All right, so just can't get it together. UNG, super bullish. USO, just bearish. Okay, so there's USO. Let's take a look at precious metals. Gold, here's another high flyer. All right, gold closing the day with a higher low. Make sure I got the right one. Higher low, higher high. Closing over the all-time high anchored VWAP. That's bullish. Over the trap, that's bullish. Over the 17, also bullish. Up here, quadrant 4, also bullish. Holding the higher ground, also bullish. Gold, high flyer, is bullish. Way up here, making a higher low. Can they ink out a higher high? We'll see. Got a nice falling dollar. It could happen. So there's gold on the daily chart. That's bullish. Let's take a look at silver. I think silver's got some room to move. Had a nice candle yesterday with a lower high and, a higher low and a higher high. Closing over the bullish trap, over the 17, that is a 12-year high anchored VWAP right there. That's a 12-year high anchored VWAP. If you go back 12 years, you'll see that we haven't made highs since for those 12 years right there. All right, closing up in quadrant 4, that's bullish. All right, this is looking fantastic. 48 is about the all-time high for silver. Okay, so we'll see how far they can get with this. Be nice to see silver challenge 48 once. All right, so price action well up over the midpoint, up in quadrant 4. That's bullish. Let's take a look at SMH. SMH not doing very good at all. Another spinning top, just like the indexes. Lower high, lower low, closing under the trap, under the 17, under the midpoint, under the all-time high anchored VWAP down here in quadrant 1. That's bearish. Moving up, giving it up, and more. That's bearish. All right? And if they start to hold the lower ground, also bearish. Thank you, Alan. All right, let's take a look at XLK. All right, here's XLK. Same as the other charts. Lower high, lower low, closing under the trap, under the 17, under the all-time high anchored VWAP, under the uptrend line. XLK down here, that's bearish down there. All right. Although we did put in a spinning top, that's kind of equals bulls, equal bears. So we'll see where we go. CPI just came out and it's still cranked up here. We'll see what happens. It's looking good so far. All right, so bearish XLK, bearish SMH, XLF. XLF was way up here. Remember, this is an all-time high. And this made an all-time high, probably think last Monday, right there. And already they're back in neutral land. See that? You move up, you give it up. That's bearish. Now, they did look good. See, they moved up and they held the higher ground right across. And then they popped and made a new all-time high. And ever since then, they've been selling off. Right there. Okay, so down here in neutral land, again, you move up, give it up. Okay, that's just neutral. Okay, price action, lower high, lower low, under the trap, under the 17, under the all-time high anchored VWAP. There's XLF on the daily chart. Okay, let's take a look at IYT. IYT just looking horrible. Lower high, lower low. Let me zoom out. Lower high, lower low, closing under the trap, under the 17, under the uptrend line, under the all-time high anchored VWAP. Way down here in the lower third. Again, you move up, you give it up, and more. That's bearish. Okay, IYT, bearish. All right, that does look like an exhaustion candle. I just want to point that out. That looks like an exhaustion candle. So we'll see what happens. I think they start to put in a bottom after that exhaustion candle. We'll see. It's all about knowing your candles. Biggest red candle you ever seen at the end of the move, like you did here. All right, exhaustion candle. All right, igniting candle. Possible exhaustion candle. All right, know your candles. All right, that looks like to me that's an exhaustion candle. All right, we'll see what happens. May take them a couple days to get this turned around. All right, there's IYT on the daily chart. Let's take a look at our economic package. And you can see the dollar. This is the U.S. dollar index making lower highs and lower lows and lower highs and lower lows and breaking minor support. That's these two peaks over here. All right, and almost breaking some major support. That would be this area right here. We like that. Break some major support along with some minor support. We like a falling dollar. Falling dollar makes our goods and services more affordable, more competitive to foreign nations, to our foreign neighbors, all right, as well as overseas. Okay, U.S. dollar closing down here around 103.41, 103.43. All right, U.S. dollar in a downtrend. We love it. All right, that helps the market make big bottom line, big top line numbers. And if management's got their act together, we get some big bottom line numbers. All right, big bottom line numbers equal higher earnings. Higher earnings usually equate to, guess what? Higher price. All right, so that's what we're looking for. All right, let's take a look at Max Pain for today. Max Pain 560. All right, 560. 0.85 puts for each call that expires today. Not much of a put squeeze to be had there. All right, so we'll see what happens with that. Earnings calendar, all right, for Wednesday. Adobe's going to report tonight, 195 billion. All right, not as big, all right, but not big enough to make the markets move. All right, Thursday got some familiar names, all right, but nothing that's going to move the markets. Friday, again, some more familiar names, nothing that's going to move the markets. Monday, more familiar names, but nothing that's going to move the markets. All right, and we'll check out the economic calendar. All right, so you can see Monday was a really light day. See, hardly anything happening. Tuesday, jolts at 10 o'clock. All right, NFIB Optimism Index. All right. The big one, the main event is today, 8:30. All right, already came out, CPI. We'll take a look at it in a few minutes. All right, petroleum report, 10:30. Treasury statement at 2. Treasury buyback at 2. Tomorrow, jobless claims, 8:30. PPI final demand, 8:30. Natural gas report, 10:30. And that's it for that day. Friday, consumer sentiment at 10, and that's it. So we'll be looking at jobless claims again on 8:30 on Thursday. Okay, we'll see how many of those government Doge layoffs happen and see if how many of them transcend into the jobless claims market. I just want to point out the last jobless claims report was not bad at all. Actually, it was surprisingly good with all the layoffs that we heard about in the news. Again, trade the price, not the news. All right. So there's earnings report. There's the Max Pain. You got the dollar. We did it all. All right. I'll take questions in the room. If not, I'm going to render my video. All right. And I'll see you guys in the room here in about 35 minutes. Lorraine asked a question. John, if you see SPY going down to 550, why did I buy calls? Because they were like, notice on those calls, all right, they were like 9, 13, and 16 days till expiration. All right, I see us hitting 550 soon. All right, and that's why I bought calls. All right, because I see us hitting 550 sometime soon. All right. Now, we came into the area today and we saw a nice $12 rip coming out of that 552 area. Let's just look at SPY. I want to defend my actions. Not that he's attacking me. He just wants to know. All right. So you can see we came down here to 552. 550 is a very interesting number for the market. And I saw a $12 rip, all right? And I saw the potential for us to head back to, that big, see the valley between the two peaks, all right, on the daily chart right here. I see the potential for us to head back to that valley, which is 575 right there. Okay, so just that's my reason. And I notice the all-time high anchored VWAP is kind of pulling into the same location. It's getting close. All right, maybe 2 or 3 more days, and you'll see it down here. So I think in 2 or 3 more days, all-time high anchor VWAP kind of meanders into this area right here. And that would set up 2 events. All right, you got the valley and the moving average all at the same spot. And sometimes when that happens, that's like a magnetic force that just sucks price back to it. Yeah, close gap up above 574. That's a possibility. Yep. We'll see what happens. All right. We just play it as it comes across to us. Okay. All right. You're welcome, Lorraine. All right. So let me render my video. I'll see you guys in about 35 minutes. All right. Thank you.